Hello, my name's Phil Chambers. I'm the Chief Arbiter of the World Memory Sports Council. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to improve your memory. Do you ever have senior moments where you walk into a room and forget why you went in there? Or do you forget where you parked your car? This is my car. It's often too cumbersome to carry around a 3-metre arrow with you, so there must be a better way of remembering where you left it. If you're going to a meeting like I am, you often have your mind on what's going to happen in the meeting. You're literally absent-minded. Your mind has already moved on to where you're going, rather than thinking about where you are now. So you need to have presence of mind. Just be in the moment and think about where your car's parked, also what the environment is around it. So we've got the entrance to the car park there, you've got the outline of the building, you've got the hedge and so on. So when you come back to the car, you'll see the environment and you'll recall those points and therefore locate the car immediately, rather than having to think about where did I leave it. So this is my car. We have the entrance, the outline of the building and the hedge. Now I've remembered where my car is, I'm off to my meeting. So I'll see you later. Had a really good meeting this morning, and what's more, I remembered where I've left my car. So really good result this morning. We had a delegate who came on one of the courses recently, and he said he did exactly as we told him. He memorised where he left the car next to a white van, and when he got back, he couldn't find it. The van had driven off. So make sure that you associate what you need to remember with immovable objects. Don't have things that could move or change when you come back to the situation. The brain tends to forget things that are mundane, ordinary, every day. It sees them as boring and it discards those memories. So what you need to do is tell your brain the things you want it to remember, the things you want it to keep. It's a bit like your Sky Plus box, where you have a series of recordings and you mark the ones that you want to keep longer term. And don't worry about your brain getting filled up. You've got unlimited hard disk space in your head, so you don't need to worry about that. But how do we indicate to the brain what's important and what's not so important? Well, the key thing is to make up a story that is absurd, unusual, out of the ordinary. And the brain will then say, this is interesting, this is unusual, I'll pay attention to this. And by paying extra attention, it actually means that you're then able to remember the information. So it stores it in a natural way, similar to if you'd experienced something. If you need to remember data, like a password or a PIN number for a card, then you need to be able to convert those abstract digits into something you can work with. And a really good way of doing that is to convert them into pictures. And we can use the shape of the number to associate with an object that you can then work with. So, for example, a number 8 looks like a snowman, a number 0 looks like a football, a number 2 looks like a swan, and a number 7 looks like an axe. So if you had a PIN number that was 8027, and this is a number for example, a Sainsbury's credit card, you could imagine a snowman kicking a football to a swan. The swan then picks up an axe and chops it in half. And to remember that that's associated to your Sainsbury's card, you can imagine the whole scene taking place in the entrance of your local Sainsbury's supermarket. So it links together the card, the number, in a visual, engaging way. You might think, well, hang on, this is a lot of work. I need to think of all these pictures. Why don't I just remember the number? Surely that's easier. The point is, if you don't use the system, if you just remember it, try and remember it naturally, you will forget. An example of this happened to me a little while ago. I got a new bank card, and you know you get the piece of paper in the secure envelope with the number, PIN number written on it, and it says memorise this and destroy. And I did that. And looking at it, I thought, well, this is a 3-digit number with an extra 1 on the end, the same digit repeated 3 times. So I don't need to use the system for this. This is really simple. So I went to the bank a couple of weeks later, put my card into the cash point, and I thought, well, hang on, was it 7773 or was it 8883 or was it 7333? I just couldn't remember the number. So I went into the bank and I had to tell them, I've forgotten my PIN number. Can you issue me with a new one? So being a memory expert, I had to swallow my pride and admit defeat. But of course that's because I didn't use a system. If you use a system, then you can always remember perfectly. So take the time to use that system. So in summary, I've told you 3 things. I've told you about awareness, being aware of your surroundings when you park the car, etc., noticing what's around you. I've told you about making a ridiculous, absurd story to help things stand out in your memory. And I've told you to take the time to use the techniques and to memorize those. So to help you remember those 3 things, it actually spells out an acronym. So awareness, ridiculous, and taking time spells out the word art. So don't just use the science of your memory, use the art of it as well. I hope you've enjoyed watching this short video and found the tips that we've given you of use. There are many more systems and techniques that I can teach you about memory, and these are included in my upcoming courses. If you want to know more details about that, please go to the website, which is www.learning-tech.co.uk/memory. So I look forward to connecting with you there.